Hi, I'm Kitty Bartholomew. Now, what can be more wonderful than a home that's filled with family heirlooms? But what if Aunt Harriet's taste isn't quite your own? What are you going to do? Well, on today's Kitty Bartholomew Your Home, I'm going to show you how you can combine the old with the new, so it should blend perfectly in your home. Welcome to our show. Custom furniture maker Lindsay Shuford is one lucky guy. He's inherited a collection of beautiful antiques and artwork that are a real cherished part of his childhood memories from North Carolina.
I remember them all from my grandmother's house, all the paintings and things, and then from my mother's house, and then now they're in my house.
Now, you've moved a very long way from where you grew up in North Carolina and moved many times within the time that you've left and always brought your treasured possessions with you. Why?
I love being surrounded by things that I'm familiar with. When I come home, it's to relax. I don't want to come home to a modern apartment because I never grew up in one. The only thing I like about the 19th century is Novocaine when I go to the dentist. Other than that, I'd much prefer to live 100 years ago, when people had homes that they lived in, and they enjoyed life much more, I think, now than they do now.
And, as you might expect, Lindsay feels more at home in an older home. So when he moved into a 1920s Spanish duplex, he asked his friend, designer Joyce McRae, to help him decorate it in such a way that the past would hopefully come alive. Now, this living room is wonderful.
Yes.
And it's interesting that all the upholstered pieces are slip-covered in a real neutral color.
Yes, the idea was to give a white background, the white walls and the white slipcovers, to just enrich the woods of the old pieces of furniture, whether it be a highly polished mahogany or a simple piece of rustic school bench.
Yeah, now that's a very clever use of a school bench as a coffee table.
It was one of the few things that would go in front of this large sofa and cover the whole length of the sofa so everyone can reach and put their glass down.
Yeah, now speaking of the large sofa, there's a great story about this, which I think we can all learn a great lesson. This sofa started out as really a settee, and it grew.
Exactly.
Very inexpensively.
Exactly. Lindsay, being in the furniture business, he understood how to make the sofa larger, and when he wanted a large sofa to face the fireplace, he took the smaller one and cut it apart and put an extension in the middle. So the middle part was added to make it, what, about an 8-foot sofa.
Wow, that's interesting. A lot of people wouldn't realize that you could make that happen. And if you have a good solid frame, there's no reason why you can't cut it in half. Use the arms, the same arms at each end, and then just reframe the middle.
Which is one of the reasons for having a wood frame to a good piece of upholstered furniture, because you can't cut plastic.
Where to place the couch is always a big decision, particularly since the fireplace is the focal point of this rectangular room.
The arrangement of the room was a little bit difficult because the room is long and narrow, as you can see. So that's why we planned a long sofa and the long bench in front of it to enjoy the most of the fireplace. I suggested that he take the old wood floors and just stain them very dark. And we stained them maybe 3 or 4 times to get this dark, dark quality of almost like an ebonized floor, which is so great with the white walls and the white furniture.
Now, he has a lot of books, and I think that really, the books and the furniture really contribute to making this room feel warm and cozy. Now, the 2 built-in bookshelves were here.
Yeah.
Now, what about this one? This is something he actually built, right?
Exactly. This one was built in to fill this long wall and to really house this collection of books, which before that were in boxes all over the place. He's an inveterate book buyer and book reader, so there had to be a place for it. And amongst the books is his collection of pottery, which he's collected for many years.
Many of which came from his home state, North Carolina.
A lot of it is Pisgah Mountain pottery, which is a famous pottery in North Carolina. And the other pieces are 1930s Bauer and Weller and USA, all the popular collectible pottery.
Another reason this room is so inviting is that even the walls reflect the sentimentality of the present owner and the personality of his ancestors.
A lot of paintings in this room, particularly of the North Carolina mountains, where he grew up and where his family lived for many years. His great-grandmother and his grandmother and a great-aunt were all painters and artisans.
It's interesting to see the interiors of some old houses, actually photographs on the wall. Now, were these in Lindsay's family?
Yes, this is his great-grandparents' house, which was built in about 1870. And we tried to duplicate a little bit the look of the house because, as you see, the walls are covered with pictures and objects, and that would seem to be a Victorian thing to do. They never had enough wall space.
Right.
I suggested we just hang everything he had, whether it had a frame or didn't have a frame, or whether it was his favorite or not his favorite. So I suggested we group them into the sort of mountain scenes and the seascapes, and the portraits are in the dining room, etc.
Lindsay loves to entertain, but in keeping with his love of the past, he rarely uses the electricity in his dining room. Instead, candles and silver provide a soft, reflective glow. And isn't it welcoming to have a silver bud vase at every place setting? That way, every guest has a flower.
I find that Southerners in particular love their silver, and Lindsay loves to put all his silver out, and he loves to entertain in a rather formal way with the table set fully with silver.
Yeah. The chairs, however, don't seem to be formal at all. They almost feel like something that you'd see in a kitchen.
Well, they're kind of country chairs, and they're called fancy chairs, and they were made originally around 1830 or 40. He had one original that he inherited from his family, and then he had the others made in duplication. He can seat 16 people.
Wow, now that's interesting. Now, in the entryway, I think it's a very unusual use of a quilt to actually hang it behind a mirror. Warms up the space a lot. What were you thinking?
Well, I was thinking we really should have a wonderful, huge painting to put on that wall. But unfortunately, Lindsay didn't inherit a huge painting. And then I remembered that he had a wonderful quilt. So I had that hung, and then over that put the mirror, sort of in the way that they used to hang tapestries and then mirrors or paintings over tapestries in the 18th century. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Lindsay had a collection of antlers, which he's been collecting forever, and some of which, again, came out of his grandparents' house. So we hung those around. His collection of caps is hung on the antlers.
I thought that was a very clever use of a quilt. Now, don't go away, because when we get back, we're going to go down the hall and see a very beautiful quilt in Lindsay's Antiques in his bedroom.
HGTV takes you on an exciting world garden tour to the exotic gardens of Bali. Today at 5 Eastern on HGTV, Home and Garden Television.
A lifetime with Iams.
Here, Casey. Here, boy. Come on, Case. I'll race you.
Every day you feed your dog Iams, you help its chance for a long, healthy life. Iams is easy to digest, so more nutrition stays in your dog.
Come on, Casey. Good boy.
Iams Dog Foods. Good for life. From the Iams Company. Now, for a limited time, look for specially marked Iams dog and cat food bonus bags at participating Iams retailers.
Taste the many flavors of Food Network.
Juicy. Fresh. Smooth.
Saucy.
Food Network will tantalize your taste buds and sizzle your senses with tempting shows and chefs, a flavor for everyone. If you don't get Food Network, call your cable operator or satellite provider. Food Network, full of flavor.
Welcome back to our show we're calling Past Perfect. And it's all about mixing family heirlooms with more modern pieces. That can be especially challenging today when most of us are looking for function and comfort. But as we continue our tour of Lindsay Shuford's home, notice how cleverly Joyce McRae has integrated the past with the present. Now, I've noticed that you've used many of Lindsay's older inherited things in clever new ways.
Yes, for instance, there's an old meal bin that's painted with old green paint. That's probably the original paint. He now uses the bin part of it for his dirty laundry.
Oh, now that's a good idea.
Right.
What about this interesting blanket
Blanket
chest?
chest came from his family, and again, it's now used as storage and a place to sit and put his shoes on.
But this, of course, is used in the traditional place, and it's probably been at the foot of a Shuford bed for generations,
Probably.
right?
Probably.
But speaking of beds, he's done something very unusual and I think extremely clever. It gives the illusion that it's a sofa bed, but it's really only the bed frame, right? Talk about this.
Exactly. The bed frame is a sofa, a typical sofa frame into which a queen-size mattress has been built. So it's permanent. It doesn't fold up like a hide-a-bed, but it is. It has the effect of a sofa and with a bed.
Sure,
and
wonderful.
of course, it gives the back great support, and then the two big pillows add to that.
It'd be wonderful for reading at night. You'd have a place to put your arm, which
Exactly.
traditionally you don't have in a
Exactly.
bed. The family quilt looks wonderful on the bed and works so well with the needlepoint rug.
Well, Lindsay's favorite color is blue, so we tried to put as much blue as we could in the house, and that's a good example of two different patterns that have a unifying color that work beautifully together.
Also, I've noticed you've done something very interesting with that attractive chair over there. What made you decide to use an old rug to upholster it?
To be quite honest, Lindsay had inherited some rugs that were less than perfect. They had some tears and terrible worn spots, so we cut one of them up and upholstered the chair. And it seems to be the dark colors of the Oriental rug are great with the dark wood of the Eastlake kind of chair that is probably late 19th century.
That's great. Now, moving into the bathroom, I know that you've done a lot of things recently, but it has an old world spirit to it. What were your goals? What did it look like before you got started?
When Lindsay moved into this house, the bathroom was original. It was a 1930s bathroom with the kind of green tile you find in hospitals and the kind of plumbing fixtures you would have found in a 1930s bathroom. We tore out the old bathtub and we put in an antique bathtub with cloth feet, which Lindsay had always aspired to. We had it re-enameled so it would be nice and clean, and took the old tile off the walls and paneled the walls to make it very clubby, almost like a men's club.
That's an unusual look to see in modern updates.
Exactly, and I think a lot of people would hesitate using wood in the bathroom, but it actually works, and if you're afraid of stains, you could polyurethane over the wood.
Perfect.
You actually could leave the tile underneath the wood and just encase it if you wanted to do paneling in, say, in a rented house.
I love the richness that you get by painting the walls that sunny yellow and then adding the plates. It has a lot of charm without being too feminine, but it's a great look.
Exactly. Again, like a men's club.
Yeah. On the other side of the room, you've matched the dark wood feeling with the cabinets on either side of the sink. Now, those aren't old, right?
No. And originally there was just a normal sink area and just very ordinary white cabinets there, not tall like that. So those were made to be tall to come up to the bottom of the windows, which are very high windows. And they essentially are Lindsay's medicine cabinets and storage for any kind of creams, toothpaste, mouthwash, whatever.
Right.
And then we bought a pedestal sink that is a reproduction of an old one.
And no medicine cabinet.
No medicine cabinet. No, the medicine cabinet really are those two cabinets on either side of the sink.
But I love the fact that you hung an oval, dark-framed mirror, which ties in with the rest of the dark wood.
And the mirror is an antique from his family's house. Some of the silver in the bathroom is family silver from Lindsay's own family, including his childhood mug, which he uses for his toothbrushes.
Perfect. Any advice you would give to people who might say, well, I've inherited antiques and things from so many different eras. I don't know that it, quote, goes in my house. I don't really know how to make it work. What do you say to people like that?
I always say, just go with what you love, because if you love things, then there's something in your soul that is putting it all together and helping it to match. It's your eye that is really creating the matching. And if you love a certain shape or a certain form or a certain color, put it all together, because you'll find that they kind of work together.
Wonderful. Thank you. We'll be right back. I love it. Coming up next, let's go into my workshop to see how you can give a time-worn look to a brand new chair just by waxing it. So stay right where you are.
When this baby is walking babies of her own, these hardwood floors will be every bit as beautiful. Harris Tarkett hardwood flooring. Pre-finished wood floors for the life of your home.
The Vilbus Air Power Company presents Performance Under Pressure. The Vilbus Air Power Company pressure washers. Performance under pressure.
The Lidman Wonder Mop. Extra dry with a twist.
When Sears puts shoes on sale, they do it big. All athletic shoes, every single pair, like Converse, Reebok, Avia. For mom, dad, kids, everyone. The big weekend sale. Nobody slam dunks a sale like Sears.
A lifetime with Iams.
Here, Casey. Here, boy. Come on, Case. I'll race you.
Every day you feed your dog Iams, you help its chance for a long, healthy life. Iams is easy to digest, so more nutrition stays in your dog.
Come on, Casey. Good boy.
Iams Dog Foods. Good for life. From the Iams Company. Now, for a limited time, look for specially marked Iams dog and cat food bonus bags at participating Iams retailers.
What if you could have a deodorant soap that goes beyond fresh and clean, all the way to soft? Fresh Deodorant Caress has clean rinsing moisturizers for skin that feels soft and smooth. Plus gentle deodorant protection to leave you feeling shower fresh. Discover the difference. Call us for a free full-size bar. Fresh Deodorant Caress. Discover how you can feel this soft, this clean, this shower fresh. Call for your free full-size bar.
Where do you stand on flooring? Think of what you really want. It's a lot easier than you think. A great room starts from the floor up. And at the Home Depot, they have over 1,000 colors and textures of wall-to-wall carpets. Berbers, Saxonies, plushes. All high quality and installed with 100% guarantee. That's the beauty of the Home Depot.
Welcome back. We've just seen how Joyce McRae incorporated a lot of antiques and past perfect items into the house we just saw. But you can easily add that time-worn look to a new piece of furniture. Isn't that right, Judy?
You're right, Kitty.
Boy, you do it all the time in your wonderful shop called Postabello.
I love the way you say that.
Yeah, well, you've got these wonderful old farmhouse tables that are actually made from real old wood, and then you have new chairs that you need to make look like the old wood, but in fact it's new pine.
You're right.
The key really is 3 different waxes, right?
You're right. In 3 different colors, a light honey, a light brown, and a dark brown. And the reason why is because you're going to do a layering process.
Very much like you do with
Just
makeup.
like your makeup. Because what you put on first, as you take off, you want that bottom coat to come through. So you don't want the bottom to be too dark, otherwise you'll have no contrast.
Right. Okay, we're starting with a bare, naked pine chair.
Yes.
And the first thing we're going to do before any wax goes on is what?
Well, the first thing we have to do with the chair, unlike our faces, is we have to put a little aging in it.
Yeah,
so, I use this wonderful old chain, and you have to be careful that you just give it like a light smack. Then, simple tool on all. Put some deep lines in it.
Now, do you try and keep it along the grain or not necessarily?
Actually, this will steer itself because it's really funny with wood. As you put the mark in, somehow your hand, it sometimes guides it. Don't make the lines too straight. We're not trying to do things perfect. We want it to look authentic and old. Then I'll take a little Phillips screwdriver, and I like to add some
those make the gouge.
Yeah, these are little holes, okay? So.
But restraint is kind of key. You don't want to overdo it.
Don't overdo it because you'll mutilate the chair.
It's amazing, isn't it, how immediately after you put the light wax on, the imperfections come out that you just created.
See them. Now, if you don't think you have enough, just go back, add some more. And you can't make a mistake when you do this. Just go back, add a little bit more. And the first, it doesn't have to be put on in a uniform way. You're going to let this sit for about 10 minutes.
Now, if you're going to do a whole new chair right from the beginning, would you work in sections like we're doing today, or would you do the whole chair all at once? Nick it all up first and then put the first coat of wax?
Logically, you should nick it up and you should do it in stages. If you have the kind of personality that you can't wait to see what's going to happen, I suggest do all of this part first because this is the fun part.
Okay.
This part down here, this goes easy, and especially underneath here.
Okay.
You know?
And I guess when you're actually distressing it, you really need to think through and remember, where do chairs get the most wear?
That's right.
They get banged along the seat. I guess the legs really get a lot of banging. Certain places, like the seat, are time warm from the seat of your pants, not really from banging up against anything, right?
Yes, but the other thing that you do, and on this chair I started the process. What you do is afterwards, and remember this, you don't have to nick up everything in the beginning because afterwards, with a little bit of elbow grease, you're going to highlight certain areas and take off some of the wax.
Sure.
Okay?
Okay.
Now, let's get up to our area right over here on the seat. It has the light base. I'm
already.
going to go now to
Because
the
what we're
dark.
doing essentially is you've already done that. It's dry.
Yes.
Pretend we've waited 20 minutes. We have. So you're going to add, now, you're not going to go to the medium wax color. You're going to go to the dark.
I'm going to go to the dark. Now, when you have your light coat, after it sits for 10 minutes, wipe it off
Any
gently.
excess that hasn't penetrated.
Okay. Now, this is how you apply. First, you're going to dab. This is your palette. You are an artist. You are not a refinisher. You are creating art. So you're going to put on, and then you're going to take your brush and you're going to glide across. Stipple. In certain areas, and you can see on this chair, I left certain places darker. So right in the corners, because that's where things kind of get old and crusty, you're going to put more wax, and then you're going to glide.
Gotcha.
Stipple and glide. And then you can even do a little bit of a crossing. It doesn't really matter.
So what you're doing essentially is you're putting on the darkest value of the wax, and you're actually putting it a little bit thicker on in the areas where over time it would have built up. But yet, when you're using your brush, you're creating somewhat of a texture, of a design within the wax.
Because if you try to put the wax on just in this stroke, the density, do you see how I can't get that richness? I have to go back in here and add.
Okay, now when this is all dry, I know you take your rag and you're going to be rubbing off, and you've done a lot of rubbing on the seat to reveal the original color, which is the honey. And then it needs to cure for a while, right, before you sit on it?
Yes. The second coat you're going to leave on for about 30 minutes. Then after you look at that, you're going to rub it off. If you want it darker, and you don't really need to do your contouring, go to your middle color, which is my light brown, and just do one stroke. And you see what happens? It kind of fills in, gives it a little bit more. Leave it on for 24 hours.
Good idea. This is really fun, and it makes me want to go out and buy an unfinished chair and duplicate your technique. Great technique. Let's take a look at the finished product. To me, it really does look as though it's been around for generations.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you
wonderful,
very much.
Judy. We'll be right back. If you have any questions or comments, we'd love to hear from you. So please write to me, Kitty Bartholomew, your home, care of HGTV, Box 50970, Knoxville, Tennessee, 37950. Be sure to include today's episode number and your daytime phone number.
Design at 9, an hour of decorating ideas, information, and inspiration you can only get here. Tomorrow night on Design at 9.
Hi, I'm Kitty Bartholomew. On my next show, I'm going to show you how one thing can start the whole look.
Then on HomeWise, Bev has simple solutions to your washing machine headaches and learn how to install ceramic floors. It's all on Design at 9, tomorrow night at 9 on HGTV, Home and Garden Television.
It can put some people in a trance. And when the wind's just right, it can bring others back to life. It can draw strangers a little closer and make time stand still. It can make men tender and loving and even tame the most savage beast. How is this possible? Beef, it's what you want.
Does your fiberglass shower look like this? Zap it! Can't get the stains out of your kitchen counter? Zap it! Thinking about replacing or refinishing your sink or tub? Zap it! Is the grout in your floor tile impossible to clean? Zap it! Now you can use Zap, what professional cleaners have been using for the last 3 years. Stop trying to clean it over and over. Just restore it. All you have to do is pour on Zap, let it set, and wipe it off. And in just minutes, your surfaces are back like new.
I was going to have to hire somebody to come in and clean my old dirty sink I could not get clean with all the stains. Put Zap on. Look, my chrome is like new. My porcelain, my tile, my grout. It's magic.
Zap, with its minty scent, is specifically formulated to restore surfaces back to their original new shine in just minutes. Porcelain, chrome, fiberglass, hard water stains, tile, rust, grout. In fact, Zap is 100% guaranteed to clean and restore surfaces back to their original new shine or your full money back.
I put this on, I let it sit, and I get my white grout back. It's the only product I found that works on the hard water stains, on the rust, on the black mildew. It smells great, too.
And don't just keep Zap indoors. Zap those stubborn stains on your RV and boat. Zap's unique formula is so concentrated, just one bottle replaces $50 worth of ordinary cleaners.
I love Zap. I pour it on, wipe it off, I don't scrub. Everything shines like new. It is a miracle.
When you order now, you'll receive the Zap Concentrated Restorer, the Zap Easy Spray Cleaner, and 2 industrial Zap pads. And if you order within the next 5 minutes, you'll receive a 3rd bottle of Zap Cleaner absolutely free. For rush delivery, call this number right now or send $19.95 plus shipping to Zap, P.O. Box 2220, Agoura Hills, California, 91376. Remember, call right now to receive your extra free bottle of Zap.
Welcome back to our show. I think there's something very comforting about looking around your home and seeing an antique mirror, a family picture in an old frame, or a piece of furniture that belonged to someone special in your family. I have my grandmother's old wicker furniture, and I've repainted it many times over the years and have taken it with me every time I move. And I'll tell you something, once that wicker's in place, I know I'm home. So if you're lucky enough to inherit a family antique, cherish it, display it, and yes, maybe you'll have to repaint it, but I can promise you it'll add so much heart to your home. I hope you enjoyed our show today, and I thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thanks for joining us for Kitty Bartholomew, Your Home. Our Sunday afternoon of decorating continues with Room by Room up next on HGTV.
Get ready for our new fall season of shows on HGTV Daytime. We're working hard to build a daytime lineup that will inspire, inform, and entertain. Great new shows like The Fix, with a high-energy how-to approach to nailing down those weekend projects. Then typical Mary Ellen rescues the day with her offbeat humor and homespun solutions for your common household dilemmas. Plus, Appraise It and Appraisal Fair are two new shows that just might reveal what hidden treasures are in your attic. Join us for Premiere Week on HGTV Daytime, beginning Monday, September 28th on Home and Garden Television.